Okay, think about your workday. You know those tasks? The ones that just seem to swallow time.
Oh, yeah.
Endless forms, chasing approvals that go nowhere, typing the same info into 3 different places.
Ugh, yes. The repetition.
Exactly. And if you're a busy professional listening, maybe you're in operations, sales, marketing, finance, HR, you know that wasted time hits hard. Productivity, resources.
It really adds up. And for quite a while now, the answer people point to is business process automation,
Mm,
BPA.
right.
It's not just some sci-fi idea. It's practical. And honestly, more vital than ever with how fast things change now.
Totally agree. So that's what we're doing in this deep dive. We're putting together a kind of complete guide to understanding BPA.
Mm-hmm.
We've looked at academic research, linking it all up with business process management, checked out insights on where BPA might be heading around 2025.
Pulled out actionable tips, right?
Yeah.
How to actually make it happen.
Exactly. So the mission today, it's really to equip you, our listener, with the knowledge to understand BPA, maybe champion it, and even think about implementing it in your area.
Yeah, whether that's sales, marketing, finance, HR. The goal is really about streamlining things. So there's ideally minimal human touch needed for those core repetitive activities.
Okay, let's do it. Where should we kick things off? Maybe what even is a process? Feels fundamental.
Good starting point. So a process, based on what we saw from London University research, is basically a set of activities undertaken in response to an event in order to generate an output.
Okay, so like a trigger happens, a bunch of steps follow, and you get a result. Simple enough.
Pretty much. The sequence to get something done.
So then how does business process management, BPM, fit into that picture? It feels bigger, more strategic.
That's a good way to think about it. BPM is more systematic. Flowforma defines it as an approach to designing, executing, monitoring, and optimizing all those processes.
Right.
It's about looking at the whole organization, how work gets done, making sure it lines up with the business goals, and, always looking for ways to improve things, taking that higher level view.
Gotcha. So BPM is the grand plan. Then there's business process improvement. BPI, is that just a slice of DPM?
Exactly. BPI is more focused. Flowforma calls it a systematic approach to analyzing and refining existing processes.
Ah, okay.
So you zoom in on one specific process and tweak it, enhance it, make it perform better. It's targeted improvement.
Okay, that clicks. BPM strategy, BPI improvement, which leads us right back to BPA business process automation. That's the doing part, right? How do we define that precisely?
Right. BPA is basically implementing that BPM strategy using tech, tools, software, you name it, to automate the tasks and workflows.
And the key thing, as you said, is aiming for minimal manual work.
Exactly. Using technology for those routine, time-consuming steps.
And this often runs on something called a BPMS, Business Process Management Suite. Sounds like the tech engine.
That's it. Lund University calls it the software-enabling BPM. It helps with the design, the workflow setup, applications, integrations, monitoring, all of it.
So the toolkit.
Yeah, the digital toolkit to build, run, and track your automated processes.
Okay, definitions nailed down. Let's talk about why this matters so much now. BPM, automation. It feels like it's exploded recently. Why the urgency?
Well, you're right. It's gained a lot of traction. Lund University notes it's been a popular term in IT and organizational management for like the last decade. There's this growing realization in companies that they need BPM to just keep up, to be more agile in this crazy economic environment.
This isn't brand new, is it? This trend has been building.
Definitely not new. It's actually pretty interesting. Lund University mentioned the BPMS market was seen as the fastest growing segment of application deployment software, way back between 2007 and 2011.
Wow, okay. So a long time coming.
Yeah, that history shows companies have recognized the power of automation for a while. And while we don't have exact 2025 numbers from our sources, the continued focus on BPA trends suggests things have only sped up.
So it makes you wonder, how does this translate into real benefits? Like for someone listening who works in sales or marketing or finance or HR.
Yeah, let's get practical. How does automation actually help you in your role?
Can we break down some examples?
Sure. Flowforma gets a great one. Inventory management. Automate that, and suddenly you have real-time stock visibility.
Nice.
The system can trigger reorders automatically when levels dip, maybe even send the PO to the vendor. No human needed for those steps.
Okay, I see.
And the result? Fewer errors, better inventory accuracy, smoother operations, optimized stock, better profits, and happier customers because the product is actually there.
That inventory example makes it really concrete. So how does that apply to, say, sales?
Well, in sales, Think about automating lead nurturing, those initial emails or follow-ups. Or automatically updating your CRM when you get new contact info or log in interaction. Even generating standard sales reports automatically.
Frees up the sales team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lets them focus on building relationships, actually closing deals, not just admin.
Makes sense. What about marketing? Seems like a prime area.
Absolutely. Things like automated email campaigns based on triggers or scheduling social media posts according to a plan that definitely falls under BPA, aiming for that minimal human touch in the execution phase.
So marketers can focus more on the strategy, the creative side.
Precisely. Less time on the repetitive execution, more on the bigger picture.
Okay, finance next. I bet automation can tackle a lot of the number crunching grind.
You bet.
Yeah.
We saw Invensis mention services like credit card reconciliation data entry and invoice data entry.
Right.
That points directly to automating invoice processing, expense reports, reconciliation, stuff that's prone to errors and eats up time in finance departments. Faster workflows, fewer mistakes.
And HR. Always seems like they're drowning in paperwork.
Totally. Invensis also mentioned payroll processing services.
Correct.
But you can easily extend that to automating parts of onboarding, offboarding.
All those forms and approvals.
Exactly. BPA can manage that flow, the system updates. Again, more efficiency, fewer manual errors. So the theme across all these areas isn't just cost-cutting, it's letting each department work smarter, more strategically.
Okay, the why is clear. The benefits are obvious. But how do you figure out which processes are actually good candidates? You can't just automate everything willy-nilly, right?
Definitely not. You need a way to identify the right ones. Lund University suggests looking at a few key things. First up, process health.
Process health.
Yeah. Are some processes just broken? Do you see high costs from errors, maybe falling market share linked to slow operations, backlogs piling up, lots of customer complaints,
Okay.
rejected work, low efficiency, meaning long cycle times, using too many resources, lots of waiting around, or maybe processes that cross different departments with fuzzy ownership?
Those sound like red flags.
Big red flags. These signal a process might be really suitable for automation, or at least a major overhaul involving automation.
So unhealthy processes are good targets.
What else? Second factor, strategic importance. How vital is this process to your company's overall strategy?
Right.
Does it add significant value to your product, your service, or crucially, the customer experience? If a process is core to what you do or how customers see you, automating it can have a massive positive impact.
Focus on what moves the needle. Makes sense. What's the third piece?
Third is process feasibility. This is the reality check.
Yeah, go ahead.
How complex is the process? Do we actually have the technology needed to automate it well? And what's the cost? The initial investment, ongoing maintenance. Because, even if a process is unhealthy and important, it might just be too complex or expensive to automate effectively right now.
So it's a combination, problematic, important, and actually doable. Okay, let's say we found some good candidates. What are the absolute must-dos for implementing automation successfully? It's got to be more than just buying software.
Oh, way more. Lund University really stresses starting with understanding the need. Why are you automating this specific process?
Don't just jump on the bandwagon.
Exactly. Be crystal clear on the problem you're solving and the results you expect. Have that why nailed down.
Solid advice. What's next?
Then, business process mapping. This is non-negotiable. You have to map out your current process, the as state.
Document everything.
Everything. Every step, who does what, where the delays and pain points are. Tools using BPMN, this business process modeling notation, are great for visualizing this.
Like a blueprint of how things work now.
Precisely. You can't design the future automated state if you don't fully grasp the current one.
Okay, makes perfect sense. What about the people side? Automation can feel threatening sometimes.
Absolutely. Change management is huge.
Yeah.
While the sources didn't give us a specific model, Lund University did point out that the existing organizational status, the culture, basically really affects how change lands.
So you need buy-in.
You need buy-in. You need to address concerns head-on, communicate the benefits, how it makes their jobs better, hopefully, and support people through that transition. It's about freeing them from the drudgery, not replacing them entirely in most cases.
Support is key. What other major area needs focus?
Data security and privacy. Flowpharma flags this as critical. Automated systems often touch sensitive info.
Yeah, huge risk if not handled right.
Definitely. So robust security measures, encryption, access controls, plus regular audits, and making absolutely sure you comply with regulations like GDPR or high pay. It has to be baked in from the start.
Cannot skimp on security. Okay, so the system is built, it's secure, it's running. Are we done?
Nope, not even close. Monitoring performance and iteration, Flowforma highlights this too. It's ongoing.
Continuous improvement.
Exactly. You need to track KPIs, key performance indicators. Things like how long the process takes now, error rates, cost savings, customer satisfaction. Are you getting the results you wanted?
And if not?
You analyze the data, get feedback from users, and you tweak it, you iterate. Automation isn't a set it and forget it thing. It's a cycle.
Always optimizing. Got it. Now, thinking about the tools themselves and the BPMS solutions, what are the main types out there, especially if the goal is minimal human interaction?
London University mentioned a few categories. For that minimal interaction goal, BPMS, commercial off-the-shelf software, is often a good place to look.
Off the shelf.
Within CI/test, there are what they call pure players. Companies really focus just on BPMS. Pegasystems might be an example. They can offer really deep automation capabilities for complex stuff.
Might be a bigger investment, though.
Potentially, yeah. More upfront cost and integration effort, but powerful for core process automation.
Okay. What else?
Well, there's BPMS development, which is basically building a custom solution, good for very unique, specific needs.
Tailor-made.
And then BPMS Cloud. This is popular if you want to offload the IT infrastructure management. Cloud solutions are often scalable, multi-tenant.
Yeah.
Good for supporting automated processes without managing servers.
Faster start, maybe.
Often, yeah. Faster deployment, potentially lower initial costs. But you still need to think carefully about security and how it integrates with your other systems.
Lots of options. So when a company is choosing, what factors should really guide them, especially for that minimal human touch goal?
Lund University flagged several key things. Flexibility, can the system change as your business changes? Mobility, can people use it anywhere? Scalability, can it handle growth?
Security, we mentioned.
Security, absolutely critical. And dependability, is it reliable? Does it just work? These are all vital when you're relying on it to run core operations with minimal manual oversight.
Makes total sense. Any final advice? Common mistakes people make when starting this journey?
Yeah, a couple of warnings from Lund University. One big one is focusing too much on the shiny new BPMS tool itself.
Instead of the process.
Exactly. If the underlying process is flawed, automating it just makes the flawed process run faster. You need to understand and optimize the process first.
Garbage in, garbage out, but faster.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And also, don't let the vendor's features dictate your business needs. Focus on what your business actually requires from the process.
Good points. Okay, let's try to wrap this up. To summarize our deep dive on business process automation, what are the main things you, the listener, should take away?
I think the core message is that BPA is, well, it's pretty crucial for efficiency and just staying competitive now. It's not magic, though. It takes a systematic approach. Understand your current processes deeply, choose the right tech carefully, and commit to ongoing monitoring and improvement.
And the benefits are real across the board.
Absolutely. Especially for reducing that manual, repetitive work in almost any function operation: sales, marketing, finance, HR. Figure out which processes offer the biggest payoff from automation, lock down your data security, and keep tracking performance.
Okay. And maybe a final thought for everyone listening to chew on. As this tech keeps getting better and you hear about lights-out operations, fully automated processes, what processes in your job, your field, seem most likely to go that way? And, what does that mean for your role, your industry down the line? It's kind of fascinating and maybe a little scary to think about.
It really is. Look, embarking on automation, it definitely takes effort. Planning, implementation, change. It's work.
For sure.
But the potential upside: unlocking efficiency, slashing errors, freeing up your valuable time from those mind-numbing tasks that can be genuinely transformative for you and for your whole organization.
Well said.
We really hope this deep dive has given you a solid grounding to understand BPA and maybe even start conversations about it where you work.